Verse 9. And then the patriarchs, becoming envious, sold Joseph into Egypt, but God was with him. Now, this is key here. This is still Stephen speaking. We're not just moving on, reading verses in the Bible. He's still speaking. And the patriarchs, becoming envious, sold Joseph into Egypt, but God was with him. Now, he's building up this almost like a Hebrews, heroes of faith kind of, he's building blocks of faith. And delivered him out of all of his troubles, verse 10, and gave him favor and wisdom in the presence of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. And he made him governor over Egypt and all his house. Now a famine and great trouble came over all the land of Egypt and Canaan, and our fathers found no sustenance. Again, he's not just saying, hey, these people were victorious, it's awesome. Here's bad stuff that have happened to us as well.
He's been real honest and open about the conversation, which I think sometimes we like to forget there were terrible things in our history, stuff like that. But he's going, this is the good, the bad, and the ugly of who we've been.
That's right. That's such a great point. One thing that came up actually on campus on Sunday was this whole remember, be reminded, not just of the good things, but be reminded of the difficult things. And I think for us as believers, sometimes it's almost like we want to, when we're sharing the gospel, we're sharing with somebody, we want them to accept the gospel so much that we only tell them the victorious stories of our past. And then we almost diminish when we didn't know God. And I was reminded of this Sunday on campus. A friend of mine showed up out of the blue. My best friend in high school, she was like a sister to me. And she showed up out of nowhere. I mean, just walked around the corner. Tanya knew it was going to happen, and she walks around the corner, and I looked at her, and I was just like, is this really happening right now? And one thing about that, and I was just thinking about this, is that my relationship with her, I can't diminish the goodness of that relationship before I knew Christ, because God was still with me then, even when I didn't know
all the
him.
way through it.
God was still moving. God put me and her together as friends, and I didn't even know God was doing that, even for such a time as Sunday on campus at the Healing Place, that she's walked through an interesting journey and a lot of pain and a lot of hurt, but knowing that her brother, her friend, she could go to a healing place, right? And it would be a safe place. So Stephen is not removing himself from the equation. He's not whitewashing their history. He's laying it all out as is.
Which is essential. This past Sunday, our youth pastor, Jaron, gave me the opportunity to speak with the students, and kind of dove into some early church history, and we dealt with the Gnostics. And one of the big things with the Gnostics were that they were removing all of the fleshly aspects of the gospel, which is we dealt with sin, we dealt with hard things. For them, it's all about the spirit and all the feel-good stuff. I jokingly call them, they were kind of the hippies of the early church. But part of that removal is dealing with the hard things of repentance, dealing with the hard things of going, maybe we were wrong with stuff. And that's kind of what he's done with here, is an early form of that, where maybe they're dealing, well, that's all good. It's all clean and fresh. No, it hasn't. There are hard, fleshly things we've had to deal with, and he's laying that out for them.
And we have to wrestle. We've got to wrestle with those things. We've got to wrestle with our faith.